Hi, guys.
Hello.
Wow. A lot of people came to the party.
You guys, hi. You guys are the best fans of any franchise. I just want to say that straight off the bat. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
I've had the longest committed relationship with you guys, so thank you so much for that.
Before we dive into anything, we've got Tim in the crowd with the roving mic. Throw your hands up. If you want to ask a question, throw your hands up now. We'll be taking them throughout the panel. We're not going to leave them to the end. We're going to mix it all in, so throw them up. Guys, hi.
Hi.
Let's get chatting.
All right.
He says you can talk quite a lot. Is this true?
I do talk quite a lot. In fact, that's why I think before I even learned how to speak, I wanted to be an actor because some part of me knew I wouldn't know how to end a sentence unless the dialogue was written for me. Like full stop. I don't ever full stop, ever.
Ever.
Just it's ongoing.
I'm pretty similar, to be fair.
Nah. I could already tell. I'm gonna pull the mic away so that I stop talking because then I just keep talking and then
I do the same thing. I'm just like her. I just talk until I figure out what I'm gonna say.
I like that.
I think it rubbed off on me from her.
I definitely passed that on to you because you didn't used to be that way.
I think I think maybe it's just because I don't have as many brain cells as
That's not true.
I did when we first started making this TV show. You know, it'll happen to you.
So Ash vs. Evil Dead, was that where you guys first met?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was 2015, was it?
Yes.
So he's coming up on a decade of you guys being pals?
Calm down. It's not a decade
It's
yet.
coming up.
Oh, God. Has it been that long, Ray? Remember when we met at the library bar? Yes, go ahead. So go ahead. You were saying almost, not quite, 8 years since we started.
And you guys are...
It is closer to
Closer
it is
than ever.
closer to 10.
Shh.
If you ask me.
I know.
I wasn't talking about the years. Come on, it's that time of day.
It
Come on,
is.
guys.
Do you know what? I was going to say it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's 4:05. Where are we in the crowd? Hello.
Hi there, guys. Firstly, I'd like to say hi, Dana. Nice to see you again.
Lovely to see you.
Ray, I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you. I ran out of money. I'm sorry.
This counts. This counts.
Well,
I'd
aren't
just basically
you
like
crafty?
to say, firstly, and I'm sure other people would, thank you so much for an amazing show. The best show on TV for 3 years. And I'm really sorry it ended when it did. And I've got a question that I will ask now and probably never will again. So, can I get a Ghostbeaters?
Ghostbeaters!
Thank you.
Oi.
Well, my friend, we're meeting now. You hijacked the situation. And the correct term is, can I get a Ghostbeaters for life? Ghostbeaters for life. Oh, wow. You guys need
Was
a
there-
drink.
Wait, was there a for life?
Yeah, can I get... I think I made it up. I don't know.
I think you were right.
I think you were right.
Ray, we're jet lagged a little bit. It's all right. But I do have to say, Ray, your hair is on point.
You're looking good, Ray.
Looking good.
I'm
Can we
keeping
just-
Tina Turner alive.
Can we
It's my
appreciate
Tina wave.
the drip on this side of the
The
stage?
drip. He
Oh.
always has the drip.
You guys both have the drip. I look like I've been dripped on.
Not at all. Paisley is always cool, my friends.
Thank you.
But you reminded me of something that we don't really talk about as much, but you said when we first met. So we actually never read together in a screen test, which is very unusual when the producers know that there are going to be people working together closely, like always on screen together. We both separately did a screen test with Bruce, with Sam behind the camera, but we actually never met. So we could have had terrible chemistry, and we didn't, luckily. But so I think it was you who reached out first, and we met. But once it was announced, like who the other person was, and true story, we went and we talked, and it was like we ended up wearing matching outfits, which was crazy, like black leather jacket, white shirt, black pants. It was adorable. But then, do you remember what happened? Do you remember? We leave. We have this lovely time, like holy shit, what just happened? Oh my God, we're going to be part of this franchise. What if they hate sidekicks? Oh my God, what if we get killed off? We're having these moments before we ever leave for New Zealand to shoot. And we leave the very first meeting of each other from this bar in Los Angeles. And as he's walking me to my car, a homeless person, because that exists a lot in LA, a homeless person, like, could have been straight out of season 2. The guy who was the guy who is back in time. He's like walking like this, and we sort of, you just don't pay attention. All of a sudden he goes, boom, and throws a whole cold coffee all over me and Ray. And it's in his hair. We both just stood there dripping from homeless coffee and who knows what else. And I go, I think that was Sam Raimi anointing us.
You guys, she just said all of that in one breath. One
skill.
breath. I mean, come on. I do often wonder, what if they had us read together and someone didn't like it? So thank fucking the Evil Dead gods that they didn't. Honestly, I think what it really was is that they weren't thinking about putting us together. They just thought about how much we were what Sam was looking for, if that makes sense. But I mean, it all worked out in the end, right?
It all worked out.
And that's stepping into a franchise as beloved as Evil Dead. It's not a big responsibility, but what's the word I'm looking for? Intimidating.
Yeah, a little bit. A little
obviously
bit. Especially, I
with
still get
Bruce-
intimidated by Bruce Campbell. He walks into a room and we tend to call him like Uncle Bruce at this point, but like every time we run in, like we did a con in Michigan this year in July with him and all the Evil Dead ladies, and every time he walks in the room, still, I kind of get butterflies. It's weird. Like, cause he's just got such a big presence. Do you find that at all? With him? Like, when he first comes in, it's like, oh, I don't know. I do.
Well, I think, no, I feel like I'm seeing like my stepdad.
Yeah.
That talks a lot.
Yeah, Bruce talks more than me, FYI.
But no, I feel good around him. I feel good around him.
I just mean he still is he's not intimidating in like it's just certain people just have a presence, like Sam Raimi as well. I always say he's the most and least intimidating person in the room because, and I think you had a very similar experience. When I first met him in the screen test, he comes up to you and he's talking to you and you're the only person in the room and you immediately feel at ease because he puts you at ease somehow. It's just his energy. And he's very sweet and humble and you're talking to him and then he walks away and you're like, holy shit, that was Sam Raimi. But when you're talking to him, it's just like, oh, it's Sam the Butcher from my grocery store,
I think he hypnotizes you and then you snap out of it when you're being doused in blood. So he's real sweet and quiet because he knows that's the way to get you, but he's hypnotizing you.
Yes.
We were abused for 3 years, and we loved it. We loved it so much.
We miss it.
So how involved was Sam once after the pilot? Was he still very hands-on with the show?
No.
No, because he directed the pilot and he produced it and stuff, but it was
He said it. He gave it its
set it free,
wings.
yeah.
He had, told us, where he wanted it to go and what he saw for our characters. And
He said, don't let them fuck up your characters. In a few words, that's what he said. Fight for your characters. So one of the things that we got to do being in New Zealand was we were removed from American, sort of like working in America and like having to deal with a lot of rules and things. So we did get away with fighting for a lot of things for our characters. I was like breaking into trailers and reading scripts so that I could know who was going to die and what was going to happen and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I don't think I've ever been on a show where we were allowed to play as much as we wanted to play.
Because your chemistry on the show is tremendous. Like, you guys really come across well together. And I think a lot of that is taking, what do Americans say? We say taking the piss. What would you say?
Busting balls.
Yeah,
busting chops.
With Bruce, which really shocked me at how much they took the piss out of Bruce on that show. Like the stuff about his hair dye and his pillow looking like he'd been in the coal mines.
Because they had to.
Yeah.
Because the last time you saw this guy, Army of Darkness Ash was like banging. You know what I mean? He was like full form, top of his game. This is now 30 years later. You can't not call it out. And it's funny, I think what Sam and Bruce realized is like, in order for Ash to still be Ash, he had to think he was still awesome. Like, which he was, but he had to still think that he could like get it, give me some sugar baby mentality. And then he had these two being like, dude, are you wearing a man girdle? Like, you know what I mean? You had to have that.
Cinching himself in.
And the denture, all of it is so good.
There's not one black person in this audience.
What?
That's the kind of humor that we had on our show. We would say shit like that. He would call me, the Mexican margarita guy or whatever, and we would get away with it. That's the kind of show that we made, and that's why people loved it.
Yeah, it was not fully PC. It was like a lot of that was at your expense, right? I suppose.
Well, I think you couldn't. I think what Sam was brilliant about why he ended up having sidekicks is because how in this day and age do we still have Ash be Ash Williams? Little bit of a misogynist, little bit of a bigot, little bit of an asshole. And how do we get him to still be that character, but also call it out? And so that's where I think the sidekicks came in, is to let him be him, but he's not going to get away with that shit anymore,
And it really works. And it fits in so well with Army of Darkness. Is anyone going to throw their hands up? Oh, hello. You're waving. Tim, go. Go.
Yeah. Question.
Everyone's been so quiet this weekend.
Huh.
Hello, Dana. Hello, Bruja.
Where are you? Oh, hello.
Hi. So we loved the show. Loved it. How much makeup did you have to become the Necromonicon?
I had a lot. Like, it was on my body, it was on my face, and honestly, I was really committed to it, and I asked for more. When they told me that I was going to become the book, I wanted to have like more. I wanted it everywhere, and I would push with makeup to get more. And I'd get in trouble because I was adding to the time that it would take to put the makeup on. But then I'd make up for it at the end of the day, and I'd be like, don't take it off. Yeah. We're shooting tomorrow. And then I'd go to the gym in New Zealand with these rad scars and like Necronomicon all over my body, and like just take my shirt off in the locker room, and like people would freak the F out because they thought like something was going on.
I do remember
a lot of makeup, a lot of fun.
And how much fake blood was used?
How much fake blood was used?
Constantly
Too much.
fake blood.
Too much. I know for a fact an exact amount only because I asked, and I've said this before, but that's the opening, the first episode of season 2 when we're in the bar, and in Jacksonville bar, not the other bar, Jacksonville bar, and it just ends where we're all covered in blood. So before I had shot my stuff, where I go over the bar and the barman's arms get torn off and all that, and so I see all these giant vats of blood, and everything's covered in plastic, and when you walk on set on an Evil Dead, and everything is covered in plastic, including the camera, where they're inside a plastic tent. Everything, the whole set is covered, because we have to reuse the set. Not everything's shot in order. So I remember seeing these vats upon vats upon vats of blood, and I asked one of the girls in the art department who was there, and I said, seems like a lot of blood for today. She's like, oh, that's not for today. I was like, oh. She's like, that's for you. And I go, all this is for me? For what? For this scene. I said, might you know, guess, like, what is that? How many? Well, good news, guys. They said it in liters, which in America I had to Google up what that is in gallons. I believe it was 85 liters. Is that? No, that can't be right. It was, now I forget what the liters was. It was 32 gallons, but it's something like, 85 liters doesn't sound like enough. Maybe 185, I don't know, but it was like a lot. And it was just for me. And then he got his, and then Bruce got his. A lot of blood. But we miss it. Like, I miss it. We've talked about it.
There was like an occasional, like, I was always like, oh yeah, it's fine. Just do as much blood as you want. And then there was like an occasional scene where they would really surprise you with like the pressure or the amount or when. And
you were not prepared for it?
No, not at all. But I had this experience that, you know, like when a boxer knocks out his opponent, but he still keeps like hitting them. That's kind of what happened to me in one of the episodes where I was like beating up this soldier in a truck. I remember like snapping at the special effects guy because I felt like I was in an actual like fight, you know, like when you're trying to defend yourself. So there were a couple of moments where, you know, kind of crossed the line or two.
Yeah,
But-
actually, now that you mention that, that was episode 7, season 1, the first, like when we're on the militia. And I think you just kept punching and punching. And I think even though the camera was on you, I said, I'm like, I think we're good, Pablo. And then you punch him again. And then they ended up using, it was like it was your improv. And then I improvised. And then they ended up using that. But yeah. It was 850 liters, or it can't be 85 liters. That's like a bottle of vodka or something, right?
Yeah, it's like 85 bottles of vodka.
It was a lot. It was 85 vats of vodka.
Yeah.
So I think it was 850 liters.
Hi.
Hi.
In the
Great
front.
show. Amazing.
Thank you.
Sorry. What was your favorite like moment to film, like, or funniest moment to film?
What was the favorite moment to film, or what?
The funniest.
Oh man.
My favorite moment, all those years of acting school that I went to, and at the end of season 1 when I had to birth a demon out of my mouth, they handed me a very long phallic silicone object, and they said, "Can you let this out of your mouth slowly?" Yes, I can.
Nailed it.
And that, my friends, I did not have to pay any money for college tuition. That was all
Too much, right?
good old life experience. I'm trying to wake these mofos up.
My powerful vagina.
I'm back.
There we go.
Oh, but I will answer as well. I'm bad with favorites, but in terms of funniest, anytime we got to shoot, like season 2, I think is where we really hit our stride. Everybody, like the writers, everything just worked. Watching Ted and Bruce in any scene together was a show within a show. I was always laughing when watching them. But like the scenes that were the most fun, because they were easier days, were when it was like all hands on deck, like Lucy, Lee Majors, Bruce, Ted, and we were in the bar, me and Ray. Those were just fun because you get to like, it's all like kind of shared dialogue. The great moment we've talked about, when the very first time that Bruce says groovy at the end of season 1, that was like, we both got chills and it was like, holy shit, this is actually happening. And the most challenging one was the possessed scene with that damn shotgun. Fun fact, smoking fake weed out of a real shotgun really sucks. They would have been much better to have real weed. That fake weed, if you've ever to smoke fake weed, it's just pull some grass up from the ground and put that in there. Or hay. It was awful. But that was very tricky, but it looked cool in the end.
I really hated being in the car.
He hated being in the Delta. He hated it.
I was trapped in the back seat.
Oh, that's true.
Or the front seat with you and Bruce talking all day, and I couldn't go anywhere.
We were very entertaining, I
you guys
think.
were very, and then they would make fun of me because I.
We would not.
Okay, when I tell you when you made fun of me, you're gonna remember.
All right, tell me.
I obviously was being becoming the Necronomicon and tormenting my I had to go to a dark place, so I'd listen to really disturbing music from Requiem for a Dream and in the car, and I'd get all prepared, and then they would make fun of me. They would make fun of me.
Oh, Ray, you're so full of shit. Let's talk about when I was at the demon the first time coming into it, and I had to just jump in the trailer, and you're like. You said you called me an animal. You look like a lemur or something. And I was like, I'm trying to be scary. What did you said something really funny. You remember what I'm saying?
I don't, but I do remember.
You remember? You were laughing at me.
I do remember you looked kind of like an animal.
Like a what?
Like an animal.
Yeah, I just can't remember. You made a really funny reference to an
so
animal.
So did I.
No, I think I think Bruce was so used to doing this that Ray and I tended to take it very seriously. And I think Bruce was kind of just like these thespians.
Bruce lives in Bruce World. He is his own entity, isn't he? He is something else.
Yeah.
I've only ever had one interaction. Well, I met him about 5 years ago, and it was like a Q&A thing like this.
Yeah.
I threw my hands up, and he went, "Yo, you, Mr. Tattoos, what the fuck's going on with you?" And I was like, yeah. I was asking him about Spider-Man, and he goes, "Did those tattoos, did they hurt?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Did you get drunk?" I was like, "Well, you can't get drunk because you'll piss blood." "You pissed blood? Out of your dick?" "No, out of my arms." "You got dicks on your arms?" I'm like, "No, Bruce." He goes, "Next question." Never got me questioning.
That sounds like a wonderful moment with Bruce
and
Campbell.
you guys had 3 years of that.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes to keep people on their toes. Yeah.
Yeah, he really
That's
does.
good.
We've got a question down there. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I just wanted to know how familiar you were with the franchise before you got cast in it.
I was a fan of the franchise. I was a big fan of Army of Darkness, and I did like Evil Dead 2. But I really appreciate the comedy, and I love the one-liners in Army of Darkness. But I had actually never seen the first Evil Dead. So before my screen test, I'm like, oh, I should watch this just so I've seen all 3 of them. I mean, I know what the franchise is. I love Bruce Campbell, but I was not mentally prepared because I'm thinking Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2. The first Evil Dead, I still think, is one of the most terrifying horror films of all time, especially because Teresa and Betsy, when evil is maniacal and enjoys being evil, like giggling, dudes, I think that is the scariest fucking thing, to be honest. So when I tried watching that before my screen test, I was like, oh man, I am not cool anymore. I used to be a cool horror kid. Now I feel like I'm not gonna be able to sleep before my screen test. But so yeah, I was not prepared for how scary that was. But it was awesome. So good.
Because that's the thing with Evil Dead, isn't it? As an Evil Dead fan, and I know a lot of people are, there's 2 Evil Deads, really. There's the really freaking scary Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And then there's Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2, Ash vs. Evil Dead. Do you think you'd want to jump over to the more scary side and be in a really horrific one?
Oh, fuck yeah. I loved playing Possessed. I was mad I'm the only one that didn't get to be a Deadite. I was kind of hoping. I'm like, even if Kelly has to die, I would just want to be a Deadite. Because you were such a good Deadite, too. That was so much fun. Yeah, no, the evil is fun to play, terrifying to watch.
Yep.
But yeah.
They took my hands away for weeks because I had these long fingers, extra long fingers.
When you were Deadite.
When I was a Deadite. So in addition to the makeup for my face and body, they had these extra long fingers that would take about an hour to do each hand. And yeah, try wiping your ass with those kinds of fingers. It was, I said, I can't do this. You need to take the fucking fingers off during lunchtime. And they said, we don't have time. And they handed me an extra large latex glove. And looking back, what animals? I should have just asked for a fucking bidet.
I would have wiped your ass for you, Way.
That's friendship right there, you
That's
know.
love.
That's true love. Moving on, because we've got like 5 minutes left. If anyone wants to throw a question in, please do. Let's talk about the future of the franchise and where it would possibly land yourselves. Because obviously they done Evil Dead Rise earlier this year. You guys popped up in the video game. Is there anything on the horizon for Pablo and Kelly? That would...
I mean, I hope.
Yeah.
I often will just email Bruce every once in a while and be like, hey, BC, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. I hear about this animated series. I do voices. I don't have to do Kelly. I do all kinds of voices. I can do a dead end. I can do blah, blah, blah. And he, like, I'm just, and then I back off. They know,
Yeah.
and I trust. Like, if it's the right thing, you know, they want to do it if it's right.
Yeah.
I am just saying for the record, I am here. I would be fine, literally, playing Kelly Maxwell the rest of my life. I really would. She was such a fun character.
Yeah.
I miss her. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I miss playing her, and so I hope, but at this point, I haven't heard anything.
No.
But if anyone has, please slip me a note when I leave and let me know.
I actually do have dreams with you and Bruce.
Do you?
Yeah, where we're like shooting like season 4 or like it's weird. It's like I have these dreams and I'll wake
my
up and I'll turn to my partner and say I had this dream. Dana was there and Bruce was there. So I don't know. I'd like to see a bizarro like a new nightmare version of Ash versus Evil Dead where like those characters come to fight us as real people. But that's just me being weird. Nobody got that. Nobody wants that.
I'm here for
That
it.
sounds quite cool, to be fair.
That Pablo and Kelly
Something
come back and
different.
fight Ray and Dana.
Yeah.
I'd lose in a second.
Bruce would have to fight Ash and
Yeah, it's just an excuse to have two Ashes again, which we all love so much.
listen, it's cheap. We fight each other for 3 seasons.
We've got a question over there. Tim, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Ah. Hello.
Hi. So, personally, my favourite fight scene in the whole series was the sperm bag fight scene.
Are you serious?
So, I just wanted to ask what your favourite fight scene was for your characters.
I've never heard that. That's amazing.
How is it not your favourite?
Because it's so disgusting. I prefer the morgue scene over that scene, to be honest. I tip my hat to you. So what's the favorite fight scene? To be in or to watch as an audience? Either one? Oh, I gotta go with that little felt fuck Ashy Slashy. He's a little... I do love puppets, guys, in real life. But yeah, I had to learn how to puppeteer on the day, which was... I give puppeteers credit because when you have to make your hand move and your face show a different emotion because they're different things, my face kept trying to imitate what my hand was doing, AKA Ashy. So that was trippy. But yeah, I love that little puppet.
Something I've never thought about, really. You have to be 2 different people, of course. Yeah?
Right, and especially when it's like, check out the potty mouth on you. And I have to not be like, I have to not make, but your face does it. I give so much credit to those puppeteers. So yeah. What was your favorite fight scene? It's gotta be I know which one.
It was when I tortured you in the trailer. It wasn't really like Pablo fighting. It was me getting to be a Deadite because they never really like let Pablo fight. Maybe like in the last season he killed a couple people. I feel like he was always just getting his ass beaten. But I got to kind of channel my inner Freddy Krueger as the Deadite. So I would say that, yeah.
That was such a good with the leg. Oh, the mouth leg.
Yeah.
Don't make me get my leg waxed.
We've got one at the back. Hello.
I forgot.
Hi, thank you both for coming to sunny Manchester. I was just wondering, have either of you had a chance to check out the game yet? And what was it like getting to return to those characters again after a good while?
I really wish that I was excited about playing the game. Like, I'm not into video games, and so I maybe played Pablo once, but I look so fucking good. I was tall and buff. My ass looked good.
You are buff.
Yeah, but I'm short. Like, and I just look good in the video game, but I can barely walk and talk, and so playing a video game didn't really work for me. But it looked cool.
I did play. I was very excited because I was a cool horror kid and I was a cool gamer kid, and then I grew out of my coolness. But I played old school NES. I had an NES system. I was in it to win it in those games, and then like Sega and PlayStation, I think my brother had. So I actually posted it because I got to go, because he's my little brother, but we're both adults now. And so when I got to go back and do the lines, full disclosure, what a nerd I am, because I'm like, oh God, it's been a minute since I've played Kelly. I busted out, because I got to keep a few costumes. I busted out my Kelly costume, even down to one of my purple leather jackets. And then I was walking into the studio and I'm like, had it all on. I go, too much. I got to leave the jacket in the car. Too much. I'm too much of a loser. So getting to do it was so much fun, and I got to throw out some lines. And then when it came out and I played it with my brother, I was just like the typical older sister, just like when we were kids. He was playing, I played me too, I was terrible at it. But he was playing me, and like, I would just mimic my own lines that I recorded. So it's like, this is how we do it in Michigan. And I'd go to my brother, I'm like, it would come on the game, and I go, Jared, does that sound like me? This is how we do it in Michigan. And then it would be like, huh, huh, and I would go, huh, huh. Does that sound like me? Does that sound? He's like, yes, shut up. So it was a thrill bonus to get to annoy my little brother, and who's in the process. I had a lot of fun with that game. I thought it was really cool how they did it. I loved it.
It suddenly just occurred to me that there was a part of that recording process where you were sat there going, huh,
for 3 hours.
Like grunt.
And they're like, can you grunt a little bit more angrily? Can you, that's also what ADR is. Like, anytime you see us and there's the evil force, there's wind, they can't use that audio. So like, we went in and would do ADR, meaning you dub your own, you have to match exactly how you were when you filmed it, the same tone, but you're not in the elements, so you're not really running, but you have to sound like you're running. We both really love it, actually. But that entire cabin, the entire finale of season 1, everything you see me in that cabin, I had to re-record because it was all in the rain and you can't wear a mic and stuff. So yeah, it was basically like that. We were like, huh, wah, wah. But I just love making those noises.
Are you like Hugh Jackman? You've seen that video of Hugh Jackman doing ADR for Wolverine, and he's acting it out, and he's like,
you have to.
Is that you? Are you guys?
You have to, because otherwise it's going to look like half-ass.
You want full ass? You don't want half ass?
No, you can't half-ass it. You got to be like, like I would full on, like, to one of the points I accidentally punched the mic so they couldn't use that take. But yeah, because you gotta get your body to, your voice has to match your body in that moment, right?
So you've got to fully give then.
Yeah, I have not seen that video, but I will watch it. But that's it.
It's as fun as it sounds. It's Hugh Jackman doing ADR for Wolverine.
You have to do it, otherwise your voice is gonna sound like, meh.
And on that bombshell, I think that is all we've got time for.
Wait.
Oh.
I just really wanted to say thank you all so much for coming. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Our show has been off the air for a while. And the fact that you're
all right.
Not a while, but I mean, like, the fact that you guys still turn out and you're still here and you're still so enthusiastic. We never got to hear whether you even liked it. We were all so excited, like the crew, everybody, it takes a village to make a show like this. There are so many people you'll never know their names that put actual blood, sweat, and tears into making this show for you. And we were all so excited. Oh, the fans are going to love this. So, yes, to piggyback on that, thank you for showing up for us to tell us that you liked it, because that's all we did it for, was a bloody love letter to you.
It means the world to me.
Thank you.
Thank you
yes.
to us.